off the cuff, I guess, the last time we met, about what you thought or how you would explain, or what explanation there was for people who had genuinely worked at pastry art design, but also have material at Amarante's house. And so I've just been saying to Miss Kaur that it's difficult for the tribunal to get to a point where it can say, yep, PIC 4021 is met because all the work experience was done and everything was basically quite normal and above board, and not be able to explain why pretty much the exact same reference that TRA got was also found when the search warrant was executed at Amarante's house.
I have no explanation for that. Like what they did, what the school inner workings are with the teachers and back of house. I have no explanation right now for that.
But can you take a guess?
I understand the way you look at that, and you see, of course, it doesn't look favourable. But all I know is we've known Sukunda for a while now, for several years. She's done her training, and that's all I can vouch for her. The best thing, like I've always said, is, it's difficult, I suppose, in the process that you take, but if there was an independent body that could come and assess these people, either at the bakery or William Angus, it would be so much easier. I wouldn't waste people's time. She did 900 hours, so she's capable of doing some work. It's not like you would rock up to the bakery yourself and say, okay, she would know where the bakery was or couldn't function in the bakery. So there's processes that after 900 hours that she can do, and I'm confident she could walk in there today and still do what she was doing back in 08, 09.
Let me show you folio 168. All it is the copy of the work reference which Miss Kaur gave to the tribunal. So just have a look.
So this is, okay, yeah.
So this is the version of the reference which Miss Kaur has given to the tribunal.
Yeah.
The two questions: who drafted it? In other words, who typed it, and who signed it?
The signature is mine. Like I said previously, the schools drafted the letter. The letters did change because some of the letters were initial at the bottom, some I didn't. Some had a border around them, and that was because we'd known people were cheating and people were fabricating letters.
So the school, that's Della College, drafted that letter?
The original letter was drafted by Della.
And then what about some of the subsequent ones?
Well, when the schools did come to see us, whether it was Carrick or the Meridian, I did have a copy of them, of the logo. I would give it to them, and then we would tell them to change the letter. And I don't know how many times I told TRA that, because they would query that number.
Were there any letters where you drafted them yourself, or someone at PAD drafted them?
Because, like I said to you last time, it was never said to us, like when TRA first visited the premises, that one, there was ever going to be a letter drafted that they wanted to be signed off, that TRA would ring me. None of this was ever said to us. It was just, yes, they walk through the bakery, yeah, you're capable of doing the practical here, and then we moved on. It's only like months later when the schools did approach us and said, Nanny, have you got a letterhead? And I remember we just scanned it off a business card and we gave it to the school.
So that's Della. Who else? Which other school?
Carrick, the Meridian, Cambridge. I think they were the main ones.
And did Della? So Della came up with a version such as this one.
Yeah,
did Carrick come up with a different version?
No, we just changed the wording, or just changed some of the logo would be moved to the right, and then we had another bit of our logo with a pastry chef that would move to the left. We'd have borders placed around the edges, odd initial, so just to have a bit of a point of difference.
Yeah. So you give your logo to Della, you give it to Carrick, you give it to Cambridge, and then
they format the letter according to the whatever The protocols were from TRA.
What I'm asking is, did Carrick get a version of the letter from Della, and did Cambridge get a version of the letter from Carrick, or did all three colleges come up with their own version?
They would have had a letter and said this is a letter that Della uses. This would be a similar format that you would.
So you would have given maybe a Della letter to Carrick and said.
Yeah, it'd be an unsigned with no names, nothing crossed off, and there'd be just that's the format, the training that's provided, the time frame, and.
Who were you in contact with at Della?
Originally, when the school came down with TRA, when I was approached, it was John. He was the original owner of the school. I can't remember his surname. He was African background. And I think then the school was sold several years later to an Indian chap. I think his name was Amandeep. And obviously, I think they had a girl there called Sharon. She was in charge of admin.
What do you remember about Amandeep?
I only met him once or twice when he came down with students, and I was told that he had bought the school.
And when do you reckon it went from John to Amandeep?
A couple of years, 3-4 years it may have been.
Ago?
No, from when it started, when they probably first came and saw me in 2004, it would have been a couple of years.
When was Amarante a teacher there? Was it before or after Amarante?
No, Amarante come to the bakery with TRA in the school, and that's when I was just bamboozled.
That was when they first brought students to the bakery.
No, they didn't bring students. What they did was they come with TRA, the owners of Della, which was, John was one of them, several teachers, and I remember seeing Carmine's face and I go, what's he doing here? Like, he can't teach students. And because we'd only sacked him a couple of years or whatever it was before. But I think Carmine was sacked in May of 2004.
And when was the first time Della and Carmine and everyone came to the
maybe a year after that. Because all this stuff never took a process, and then obviously they were setting up their school. They didn't have a facility as yet when they first approached me. I don't know, they were working for an office down in William Street, and then suddenly they could train. They got the facilities to have the school where they could teach the theory, but they had nowhere to teach the practical. So that's when they approached us. TRA came, no students. John, the secretary, some of the teachers, and Carmine, and that's when I thought, what's this guy doing here? You know, but apparently he'd gone out, got some skills, and he could teach, so he was a teacher there.
I'm at a loss to explain why Miss Call's reference was sitting at Carmine's residence in 2009, which is I'm saying to Miss Call, the both of you may not know that much more than me, but you know more than I do. So anything you can, even if it's just a guess, any explanation you can offer as to why the reference was sitting there when the police arrived is going to help me, which means it's going to help you.
Yeah, well, we understand that, member, but like I said to you, when the schools came, I signed letters for the students. From there, what happened, obviously they made copies. I don't know what could happen at the school, what Carmine was up to, what he was doing. We have no explanation for that.
Sorry for interrupting, member. I would able to throw some information on that when I get a chance to speak. So.
Yes.
You always try and think, like, how would another person look at that? And we know we're not stupid, but that doesn't look good. But I wouldn't come in and waste my time, and because I've known this girl for a while, like I said previously, and the only person I haven't attended is for Sue Ping. Because she's done the training. It's very simple. You just leave here, go to the bakery, and you can see what she can do. For 900 hours, she can make muffins, make cakes, pack the orders for the hotels, almond croissants.
But the situation that we're in is because of the way the investigation unfolded, what was found at his house.
No, I understand.
And the way, to be honest with you, also the way the department has approached the investigation and how the evidence has been.
And that's one, remember, I've always, whenever I've been asked questions, like I told you last time, when the investigator came from Latrobe Street, when immigration, some investigator from the department there, I've always assisted. The federal police came and they wanted to see If I had known of any agents that were working out of their cars,